Hello everybody and welcome to Dante Dark Souls' first vlog. Now, a lot of you already know this is a very special occasion. Gay marriage equality has come about. The Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in favor of marriage equality. And we've both been waiting for this for pretty much our entire lives.
Right.
And for those of you who don't know, this is my buddy Lupus. Yeah, hey, there you go. Yeah, it's just an amazing event. I mean,
History changing, for one.
exactly. Every group now, every minority group has marriage and right equality now. At least in America.
Right.
For the most part. Anyways. There might be some, but
There's equality, but there's not acceptance everywhere.
Exactly.
Which, is expected. Acceptance, you can't have acceptance for everything in life. Everything's not perfect, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. And there's always going to be hateful people.
Right.
Haters.
Yes, the haters.
But anyways, somebody declare a fucking national holiday, because this is the best news that I think I've heard in my entire life.
Right.
Especially since, I grew up with gay parents, and they have never been able to marry. And one parent I actually lived with for a good 11 years before things went kind of sour. But
my parents are heterosexual. For those who don't know that terminology, it's straight. Yeah. I myself am gay, but, I've been in the closet to them for my entire life, for 17 years. Which, it's really hard, although I don't deny it. If they were to ask me, hey, are you, you drop dead, yeah.
Yeah. And, for those of you who don't know, terminalistically, I'm pansexual, but I just say it that way because I don't think it should be an issue. I don't even think there should be terms gay, straight. You should just be a person that likes somebody else.
You're human.
Exactly.
Right. Your sexual orientation doesn't define you.
Exactly.
I would say it's your genetics, but they've proven that there is such a thing as a gay gene, so...
Yeah, at least it's not like what was it? Was it X-Men 3? Yeah, it was X-Men 3 that came up with a cure for the mutant gene, and that was kind of a twist on people supposedly trying to find a cure for the gay gene.
Well, the thing is, the gay gene, whatever you want to call it, whatever the actual terminology is, it's in all species of animals, really, It's
Exactly.
in well over 1,500 different species of animals, for those who don't know, and even in your common house dogs and cats. And the most simple of them all is the damselfly. A very simple animal, such as damselflies, actually. And see, a lot of people want to say, well, that's just sexual confusion, that they're in the mating season, they get confused. That's not the case. These animals are actually looking for the same gender mates, and will actually mate with them, even though, they're not going to produce offspring. And for those who also don't know, the king of all beasts, the king of all beasts, lion, there are actually prides that are strictly male.
Oh, absolutely.
And they're not just batshit prides either. They're actually homosexual prides in the plains of Africa. And it just shows how natural it is. Dolphins, even.
Mm-hmm.
Dolphins, they've been known to even, rape attack scuba divers and even hump chunks of coral in the reefs, which is kind of extreme, but nonetheless,
And dolphins are horny bastards.
Yeah, especially river dolphins. Yeah. But see, that's why a lot of people want to say, if someone says it's unnatural, by saying it's unnatural means it doesn't occur in nature. Well, it does.
It
most
occurs
certainly does.
almost more in nature than heterosexuality does sometimes.
True. In fact, in San Diego, actually, there was, I forget their names, but there were a couple of homosexual penguins in the San Diego Zoo. True, you can actually look this up. And they knew that they can't produce offspring, and they went as far to actually try and steal other females' eggs.
Really?
To try and raise them as themselves. Well, a year later, after their attempt of theft of an egg, one of the newer female penguins actually abandoned an egg, and the zookeepers gave it to them, and they actually both took turns sitting on the egg, feeding the hatchling, and which actually just shows even in a lifestyle where a child does have homosexual parents, they'll both take care. It's just like any other family.
Exactly.
Which even then you can't put a label on that either. It's love. Love is love.
Absolutely. And also, we've also heard of terms like homosexuality is the breeding grounds for new homosexuals. Technically, no, it's not.
And see, that's why I said, I know someone. We actually did a debate on whether gay marriage should be. I shouldn't call it gay marriage. It should just be marriage. But if you just say marriage, people's like, oh, between a man and a woman. But that's why you sometimes have to make it clear. But homosexual marriage. One of the kids said it's impossible for two heterosexual parents to give birth to a homosexual child. At which point I slammed my fist down on the desk, stood up, and yelled in his face, I am living proof that is false. Which is actually the time when I literally just came out to my class, and to my class at that time. Which, it was a pretty intense moment, and he had this terrified face on him, and it was a very heated argument. I never got in trouble for that since it was like toward the end of the year, but his final words on the topic. This is after the bell rang. Everyone's getting everything packed up, ready to walking out the door. He said homosexuality is a disease of the and a cure will be found. I'm sorry, and my love's getting in the way of your bigotry, which further shows how ignorant some people actually are. And their only argument truly is, I'm sorry, Christians out there, I don't mean to offend you. Your only argument is the Bible.
In which case, it actually nowhere in the Bible says anything about homosexuality being a sin.
And it's not a sin, but it is immoral. That's all he really said about it. In which other but translation through multiple languages, it can go from immoral to disgusting to unnatural to sinful. Which the main sins you actually have to worry about is the 7 deadly ones, and homosexuality isn't up there. Lust is.
Yeah.
Lust is definitely a big one. But other than that, no. That's the ones that you have to really be concerned about is the 7 ones. I myself am pagan, so I don't follow the Bible. I don't follow, the Christian way of life, which, I do get a lot of looks and mistreatment for, not just because I'm gay, but because, I'm different, which I'm proud to be different. I'm happy to be different. But a lot of people aren't. They don't want you to be different. They want you to be like everyone else, which
conforming and whatnot.
Right, which being like everyone else takes away enjoyment in life, really.
Yeah, it just takes away uniqueness. It just takes away any chance for new things to happen.
Right.
Because if we're all the same, we're not gonna go anywhere. We're not gonna. Nothing's gonna happen. And I myself am atheist, I suppose you could say. I don't really have a religion. I have faith that there's some sort of higher power. I don't have a name for it, him, her. But I gotta believe that there's something more out there. Just for the fact, the look in the eyes of a person when they do die. They see something more. There have been a lot of people who have said, kids who grow up with homosexual parents are going to grow up to be unsuccessful, which apparently is not very true, because I have the next 6 years of my life planned out. I'm going to community college to get my prereqs out of the way, and then my mother is going to be hired at OSU when she gets her bachelor's degree. They're holding a position for her, and I'm going to be able to go there and get my master's degree in mechanical engineering.
Right. And I myself, I'm going to a career technical center, which I'm learning graphic design through both traditional media such as pencils, paints, but I'm also doing digital media, and I'm planning on going to college for industrial designing.
Mm-hmm. So, and obviously the stigma, 20, 30 years back, has worn off that, all homosexuals are unsuccessful people. Because...
Right. Look at Ellen.
Oh, absolutely.
Look at Ellen. She's fabulous, and she knows it.
Oh, look at Elton John.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just in the music and media business, but there are homosexuals that are, CEOs, they're business producers, manufacturers.
Fashion designers.
Can't
get without that fashion.
Oh, yeah. Interior design, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently it must have canceled out on me because I have no fashion sense.
Well, I do.
Yeah, I know you do, because you're fabulous.
Stop it.
No.
Right. Well, it's because stuff like this topic just flows outward into more, and it shows how deeply connected it truly is to everything else. Because that one little thing, that will change the world forever. Because a lot of people say that America is an example to lead the world. That is somewhat true. It's a sad truth, because those who don't live in America, or those who do know, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but things aren't perfect here. People think that, in America, it's gonna be perfect. It's not. It's never perfect, because we have vast differences. Yes, we are the melting pot of the world. We're more mixed than any other country. But for that reason, there's actually a lot of racism and war, not literal war, but against each other, against different races, even though we ourselves aren't racist against any one race, which is useless. We're all human. We all come from one previous ancestor.
Exactly. Racism shouldn't even be a word, unless you hate dogs. That'd be racist, but... we're all one race. I suppose you could be subspecies.
Right.
I don't know. I suppose that, the certain colors of skin kind of go along with the certain colors of dogs, so I guess it could be subspecies, but...
And by that, what we mean is, when a species is classified into subspecies, it's because they have similar traits and attributes, but are different in some form. That could either be color or any other thing.
Yeah, a lot like Chihuahuas and Huskies. They're all dogs, but they're different subspecies.
Right. But when you look at humans, people want to say, oh, we're all human. You're right, we are humans, but all dogs are dogs. Which, there are, I hate to sound like I'm being negative about it, which I'm not. Humans can be split into subspecies and subgroups. That doesn't make one group better than anyone else,
Yeah, because, for the most part, we all have the exact same attributes. We all have exactly the same composition. We're all carbon-based organisms. We all use the same exact brain, whether it be smarter or less intelligent than some others, but it's the same exact parts.
Right. But if you can ask any anthropologist, a person who studies human culture or even human beings themselves, their own skeletal system, if they can actually tell a difference between one race compared to another due to their shape of their skull, their sternum, and other parts of their bodies, and which the most famous of this is in a fictional TV show called Bones, which an anthropologist can tell you. And that is true. That is not fake movie action stuff. That is an actual thing that can happen. They can tell whether you're a male or female by your pelvis or your skull.
And your breastbone.
Yeah, and your breastbone. And they can also tell your different race from the shape of your skull, and other parts of your body.
Eye sockets and jawline being definite parts, rather.
Cheekbones. Cheekbones, for example, those who are Native American have very high cheekbones, which I have 3 different types of Native American in me, and my cheekbones are way up here, which is, they're normally like around here.
Yeah, around the nose area.
Mine's more up toward my socket, to my eye sockets, which I could actually.
Same here, which is why I think I might have a little bit of Native American in me somewhere.
Right.
Either that or it might be a French trait. I don't know. Who knows?
I know I don't have no French in me.
I have a lot of French in me. Sacré bleu.
We're but see, that's why this is a big topic, but even though a lot of people are probably going to think, oh, you're just like joking around with it, you're not taking it seriously. We are taking it seriously, but it is a heavy topic, and a heavy topic can go very bad very quickly.
Absolutely.
That's why it's good to keep things light, keep things funny, but also get to the point, which we clearly kind of aren't.
Yeah, we seriously dodged the bullet. But it does all come around, especially when we're talking about the subspecies thing.
Right. But like all subspecies, there's all traits that are like the same, such as the homosexual gene, but it all comes around.
I mean, and it's no different than any gene that makes us male or female, you know, brown eyes, blue eyes, high cheekbones. It's who we are. And that's all there is to it. There's no changing that. There's no anything. That's just who we are. And we absolutely shouldn't be ashamed of it. It's as much a part of our body as our fingers.
Right. You are who you are, and you're beautiful who you are. You don't need plastic surgery or anything like that to change who you are, because people who think they're ugly embrace what you are. You know, the only true ugliness that you should be worried about is how you are on the inside.
Absolutely. We're not just talking about your organs.
No. If you've seen some, that can get pretty scary pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, bad livers. Ooh.
But your personality-wise, if you're not a good person at heart, if you're not a good person center-wise, you're not. You can be the most beautiful person in the entire world. You could be #1 in all pageants or whatever.
You could be Miss fucking Universe.
Right. But the fact is, if you are hateful, if you are racist, if you're willing to kill puppies just for a penny, you're not a good person.
And that's just a metaphor, by the way.
Yeah, don't kill puppies. Don't kill puppies, please. No.
No, you kill puppies and I'm gonna cut something off of you. Depending on if you're a guy or a girl.
But, see, that's the thing. We here on this channel, we don't believe in outer ugliness, because there should be no such thing.
Absolutely. I mean, and it's all just, how to put this? It's all societal views. Right. It's all pre-programmed.
That's how society wants you to be viewed as.
Exactly. Like back in old Shakespearean British times, fat women were extremely beautiful because they were rich.
And fat men.
And fat men, because they were rich.
No, it's not just because rich. It was because it was believed that if you were larger in size back then, that you were able to produce more offspring. That's actually how back then it actually worked. It wasn't so much about love as they can give more babies than this person can.
Exactly. And it all came around to what kind of stock you could give. Like if you came from good stock.
Right. Which even my parents are still like that. My mom tells me once every month, you come from good stock.
Oh, that's exactly what my mom tells me.
Right. You know, it's not a lie. But that stock's no better than what you have. You know, I'm not saying I look better than anyone else. Obviously, you know, I'm not the most attractive man in the world. I've been called cute a lot. But other than that, I wouldn't call myself attractive. And it's not because I have, outer image concerns, but I have concerns about my weight, which you can't see. You probably can see in my face, but I'm actually pretty heavy set than most people my age, which is why. But I do stuff about it. We got sidetracked really fast.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, we do need to wrap this up because it's getting quite lengthy. And you probably stopped watching already.
Yeah, it's about 26 minutes now.
Right.
Which we might need to cut a little bit now.
Right. But just remember, embrace love. You are who you are no matter what. It's who you are that counts.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I suppose before we do stuff, I should clarify one thing. I said that I grew up with homosexual parents, and that is absolutely true. But, I was born heterosexually. My mom was married to my dad, for a long time. And, well, my brother is 9 years older than me, and he was also I forget the word. I don't want to say consequence, a result of that marriage. But, he's 9 years older than me, and he's been around since then. And my parents, my mother and father split up when I was about 3. So, I never really knew my dad. And we moved across the country. We literally moved from Arizona to West Virginia. And we're not in West Virginia anymore.
No, we're in Ohio.
Which is why I'll be going to OSU. But,
which, those who don't know, is in Columbus, Ohio State University.
Yeah.
Those who couldn't put it together. I hope people could.
But, yeah. So, my entire life, I thought it was weird that people had dads when I went to school. I really thought, like, you have a dad? What's a dad? But, yeah, I suppose we should definitely be wrapping this episode up. It's getting kind of lengthy. But coming back around to the main issue, homosexuality is now entirely legal in pretty much every concept now. So that is definitely the thing that we've been waiting for our entire lives, because it's affected us both in some way, shape, or form.
And before you all start going crazy in the comments, we're not a couple.
No.
I'm dating someone currently who lives in Florida, and he's dating one of my best friends.
Which is a girl.
Yes. But she's delightful. She's adorable.
She is.
Which, who, if she sees this...
But yeah, when it comes down to it, love is love, and that's all there is to it. So, yeah. What was the hashtag? It was,
hashtag love wins.
Absolutely. And for those of you who don't know, it is #1 trending on Twitter right now.
Yes.
So, hashtag love wins, and we will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Ciao for now.